So if you're here, then you are the parent or guardian of a kiddo that wants to learn guitar. Thank you for coming. Let's dive in. So when I thought about guitar lessons and what they should be, I thought back to a 12-year-old me back in, 1990, whatever. And I remember sitting and watching a VH1 special on Stevie Ray Vaughan. That was my stars in the eyes moment, watching that man and what he did with the guitar, the sounds that he made. And all of a sudden, that old beat up acoustic guitar that had been collecting dust in my dad's bedroom for years was the coolest thing we owned. And now, all these years later, having been mostly self-taught, and then today with all of the things that we have now that we didn't have when I was a kid, like YouTube and the internet, there are so many great resources. And I thought through, man, there are definitely things that if I could go back, I would teach myself differently, and it would have made a huge difference on my progress, how quickly I pick things up. And I thought about a bunch of the buddies that I had that picked up the guitar but didn't stick with it. They got frustrated, stuck in a closet, never got it out again. So there are 6 things that everything that I teach fall under. So the first is anatomy of the guitar, the moving parts and pieces, the strings, the tuning pegs. You can see the hole in this guitar and the pickups over in that guitar. What do they do? How do they work? The second thing is music theory. I didn't graduate from Juilliard or from Berkeley, but music theory, hey, this sounds really good, but why? That can really be helpful to a new player. The third thing is chords and how you use those chords in strumming patterns. The fourth, scales and shapes, how you can just do some of those ad-lib things that sound really good. The fifth is riffs. Those are kind of the building blocks of modern music. And then the sixth is technique, which is used across all of the topics. So everything that I teach is under those 6 buckets. It doesn't matter if it's beginner, intermediate, advanced, it all sits there. The other thing, I was raised doing martial arts. That was the recreational activity that we did as a family. And what was really cool is I didn't start day one and look, I've got 10 years until I get my black belt. I was focused on the very next belt, the yellow belt. And so that happened within a couple, 2 or 3 months for me. And so my program is built the exact same way. So students come in, there's a specific list of criteria that say, hey, you need to learn these things to get from the white belt to the yellow belt. And each subsequent belt builds off the previous one until you get to the black belt where you are quote unquote graduated and you've got, a good understanding of chords and music theory and technique, riffs, all the things that we just discussed. At any rate, thank you so much for coming, for taking a listen. Would love to have your kiddo a part of the program. Please reach out with any questions. Thanks, y'all.